Isis Pontanares. So we're all here, of course, for the first ever WSL International Pro. It's the first ever WSL competition here in Baler, and it's also the first international competition here in Baler. And as you know, Baler is now recognized as the birthplace of Philippine surfing. Um, Also, it is a WSL. I'm sorry. It is sanctioned by WSL and co-organized by the UPSA and ASRAI. UPSA being the National Sports Association for the Philippines, and ASRAI being the local surf association here in Baler. And of course, all of this is in collaboration with the municipal government of Baler. It's sponsored by the Office of Senator Angara, the Philippine Sports Commission, the Office of Congressman Romel Angara, Philippine Airlines, and Costa Pacifica. So, yeah, I'd like to officially open this press conference. Who wants to go first?
Hi everyone, I'm Nina from Rappler. Just wanted to ask, how are you all doing? Like now that the event's over, it's come to a close, feeling good? Okay, that's a consensus. um, I guess first off, since it is your first time in Baler, I'm just curious, like what are your or WSL's first time here holding a competition? What are your impressions of the province so far?
Yeah, first time here in Bel Air. It's been such a great experience. The people have been so welcoming. The whole town feels like it really got behind the event, and I think it's been a super successful event, and it's so good to work with Jeff and Gino and who put the event together. And yeah, I think it's been super successful, and yeah, we can't wait to come back again next year.
For the WSL UPSA, I'm Rod Lagusa from PTB. With the first ever or the inaugural WSL International Pro League here, how's the experience? I mean, this is the birthplace, so-called, of the surfing in the Philippines. How was it compared to? This is the like the second surfing international surfing competition like in a week. How is it?
Yeah, that was, I never knew that Bel Air was the birthplace of Filipino surfing, and it seemed like a pretty cool fact. And yeah, I can see why the movie producers picked Bel Air to film the surf scene here at such a beautiful place. And yeah, in terms of Bel Air compared to La Union, like both places are super nice and both have great surf communities. The local surfers in both areas all surf really well, and yeah, I think these sort of events really help the Filipino surfers get to showcase their skills against the best surfers in the other parts of the world. And yeah, I think it's great to have two events back to back in the one country. It gives all the surfers, two chances to compete for back to back and get to showcase their skills. Yeah.
I think everyone's doing well, Nina. Relieved that the event's done, but for the most part, really stoked. Riddell, was it, from PTV? It's only fitting that an international pro would be held here in Baler, the birthplace of Philippine surfing. Initially, this event was planned for 2025. I think that goes to show in terms of the coordination and the support from Senator Angara's office, Congressman Angara, Mayor Red, the Department of Tourism, Speaker Romualdez, and Tingog Party List. We were able to move it advance by 1 year, hold it back to back between La Union and Baler, and showcase world-class talent. So it's been really smooth, and we're very grateful for a successful event.
Additional question for the Sir Jet Bustamante, how it is so important that this international surfing competition was held here? I mean, sports tourism. Tourism is a great driver of economy, and this place, Baler, will be greatly benefit from this competition.
Yeah, so it's gonna benefit more for especially the tourism of Baler, seeing this kind of competition from here in Baler. So I think it's a big factor for us holding international competitions because Baler is the birthplace of Philippine surfing. So might as well show the world what Baler has and can offer the surfers all around the world. So yeah.
Sir, a follow-up question. How the group responded to the task of holding this such event, and can you elaborate the support that was given to mount this event?
Yeah, of course, especially to UPSA, thanks for their help organizing this international competition. So, of course, Senator Sani Angara and Congressman Romel, also Mayor Red for their support and for pushing through this event. So yeah, we're really grateful for them for always helping us since 2022 with nationals, especially with UPSA. So
Additional question for the WSL, anyone from them? Since we have winners for this particular, how it is important that these winners get these points? I mean, what's next from this? What competition they will be having? How it is important that they have this such standing to be in continuing their series of competition?
Yeah, these events are crucial for the Asian competitors to qualify to the next level of WSL competitions, which is the Challenger Series. We have 2 events left that are co-sanctioned with Australia, and they will determine who qualifies. But I think just looking at the rankings from before the union to after Baler, like a lot of people changed positions, so there was a lot of points on offer, and yeah, the winners have jumped into contention for qualifying, and for the longboarding, it was nearly wrapped up with JR pretty much taking down the Asia Regional Championship, and yeah, we're still not sure if there's going to be one more LQS event to finalise the year, but yeah, at this stage, JR's looking strong to top it again, 2 years in a row.
On the topic of the event preparations that you'd asked, really good question. So in terms of UPSA's role as the National Sport Association, we seek out and we work with the local surf clubs. That's our counterpart in each particular surf town or location. So led by Jeth and Asrai, they provide all the different plantilla, various technical requirements, and expertise. And it's a really interesting experience because from the WSL, bringing the international standards and talents, there's a transfer of knowledge throughout the week. So it's not just a competition that happens, but it also elevates the local talent so that they can continue to host multiple events throughout the year.
I won. So actually, when I was speaking with JR earlier after his win, during our interview he mentioned 2028, or alluding to the Olympics. So with that, I guess how do events like these? I know WSL holds these competitions all across the world, but also in Asia specifically. How do these competitions in the big picture end up helping aspiring surfers, especially since, like you mentioned earlier, it's a relatively young sport, so it's not that, it's not, pun intended, it's not making such big waves yet when you ask people to consider Olympic sports. So how do you see these sort of events helping surfers reach that goal? I guess our surfers here, Neil and JR, and also our friends from WSL can chime in.
Thanks for your question, Nina. Yeah, surfing is a relatively new sport in the terms of the Olympics. Our first Olympics was in 2021, which it ended up being in Chiba. And then again, our next one will be in Tahiti as part of the Paris Olympic Games in 2024. What do these events mean for athletes to qualify to the Olympics? This is like the first stepping stone to the end goal of qualifying for the Olympics. As I said before, the surfers surf the regional QS Tour and then qualify for the Challenger Series, which Marimar was a part of last year. And then from the Challenger Series, they then can qualify for the Championship Tour. The first Championship Tour of the year is running in Hawaii at Pipeline at the moment. And then from there, the top 10 surfers from the men's and women's side qualify for the Olympics. So, yeah, this is the first step in a long road to qualifying for the Olympics.
We're hoping to be in the 2028 LA Olympics. We're hoping that there's gonna be a longboard, and yeah, we'll go train harder, compete for the qualifying events, and let's see what's gonna happen.
Just also as a coach from UPSA, I'm stoked to see the talent of Neil Sanchez in his hometown, who's top 4, I think, in the Nationals at the moment. You, top 4 or top 3? Top 3, and number 1 of JR. The other pathway for the Olympics is the professional tour, which is the WSL, which is supported by people like Ting Organ speaker Ramaldez. The other option is the ISA games that we take part in every year also. I think you guys came in 4th in the world last year, so Team Philippines in the longboard division is actually 4th in the world according to the 2023. So we would 100% be in the Olympics if this had been an Olympic year for surfing. Or if longboard was in that division. Shortboard's already in, and what JL was saying, that Olympics will be hopefully announcing that longboard is a part of it by 2028, or worst case, 32, hopefully. So the pathways for the Olympics through the WSL is one professional angle, and we also get support from the PSC and a Philippine Olympic Committee to take our teams to places like El Salvador with JR last year, where they came an impressive 4th in the world. So not to put away the importance of a WSL, but just for clarity, there's 2 pathways, and we have a great opportunity with the surfer like JR and the current Philippine team across shortboard and longboard to get this multi-strand entrance into the Olympics, to take that Philippine flag to LA or Australia, hopefully in 32.
When you get to host an international competition like this, Nina, it attracts world-class talent. So our local national athletes get to compete against the best of the best in the world in terms of preparation. So benchmarking is definitely there. And as you can see, the surfers are very humble and soft-spoken, but like Coach John was saying, 4th in the world easily at the last World Games, and very optimistic about their chance for qualifying in between Marama, JR, Roger, Daisy, who did very well in the competition. We're very excited for their future.
I have a question. So recently you mentioned El Salvador, and El Salvador right now has recently invested 12 billion US dollars to host the ISA events and WSL events. So how do events with the Philippines now also, we working with local, with government offices, one of them being the Department of Tourism also. So with events like this, how does the local economy benefit from hosting a big international surf competition? And are there any plans to make it a recurring event?
I think it's great to see events like this that has support from all level of governments. It's kind of unique that we get support from like the local LGUs all the way up to the national level. And I think that the level of support that has been shown to professional surfing in the Philippines is fantastic, and we can't wait to work with UPSA to bring more events to the Philippines and to continue with the ones that we've got now.
Surfing is one of the handful of sports that are directly linked to tourism. And so for a surf town, right, your typical surfer would stay for about 2 to 3 weeks. An international traveler would spend about $200 to $600 a day. And when traveling in groups, about 2 to 4 at a time. Professionally, they travel in much larger groups. They're also very durable. They'll come from all over the world. They will hitchhike, they will bus, they will train, they will fly. And so in terms of tourism, this could easily turn a small, sleepy town into a booming international destination. And Baler is right on the cusp of that. With announcing the birthplace of Philippine surfing, they have an airport that's ready to go next level, as well as a port in the works. So very exciting, and to be a part of something like that for these surf towns.
Okay, I have a light one. So this is for visiting friends from WSL and UPSA. You guys have been here for a while, since you came from La Union a few weeks back, and then I don't know when you guys are heading back, but safe to say it's been a couple of weeks. So I'm just curious. After visiting both La Union and Baler, what can you say about your experience with Filipinos so far?
Oh. Okay. Thank you for your question. It's definitely been a long trip between La Union and coming over to Baler, but I've really enjoyed my time. Everywhere we've gone, everyone's been really welcoming and really happy to have us, and willing to kind of make sure we're getting good food and having fun waves and taking us to all these cool secret spots that, normally in other countries we don't get taken to. I really enjoyed my time here, and a big thank you to everyone that's kind of helped us through it all and kind of guided us in the right direction. And it's been really cool, and I can't wait to come back next year.
I think it's really cool coming on trips like this and meeting people like Jeff and getting to experience local places like Baler as a local would. And, Jeff and the whole team has been so welcoming, and it's so great to see these places that you might not usually visit, but then you get to open your eyes and see how amazing this country is. And the surf towns and the surf cultures are booming, and it's just such a privilege to be able to come to places like this.
I have lived in the Philippines now for a number of years, almost 9 years, and it's the same today for me as it always was. The asset of the landscape, the waves, everything is always second to the people and the hospitality. Even if you're just in the street, someone will smile and wave to you. We have our local surfers. If I'm in the lineup, surfers have a sort of reputation to be maybe a little bit unwelcoming or a little bit hostile. But when you hit the water in the Philippines, they're calling you onto waves, they're sharing their lineup, and they want to get to know you as much as you get to know them. So sharing the lineup with people like Jeff and Neil here in Baler. I surfed with Alan Magos yesterday over in Cemento. And for me, the biggest asset will be, and probably will always be, the Philippine people and the culture and the way that they just accept you and go the extra cup of rice for everybody. It's not just the bare minimum, it's always the maximum when it comes to hospitality and just the love that oozes from the culture. So that's the asset. 9 years in, and I'm still 100% sold on the fact that Filipinos are the best people in the world.
Additional question kay Neil tsaka kay JR. Nabanggit kanina na yung ganitong mga event, it attracts world-class athletes. And you gotta start somewhere. And may mga nanonood na aspiring surfer na gustong magaya kayo. Gaano ka-importante yun na nakikita nila na ganito yung level, yung international standard pagdating sa surfing? Paano kaya yung tingin nyo, makakatulong sa kanila to boost, to level up? Anyone?
Sobrang importante kasi kung gaano kagaling yung mga napapanood nila ngayon, for sure mas magaling yung magagawa nila sa future. Tapos ayun na nga, nakikita nila yung mga dayo na sobrang gagaling, yung mga the best, pinaka-best sa Asia or may mga taga-iba pang region. So, ayun, sobrang importante kasi mas nagkakaroon sila ng kaalaman na kung paano gawin yung mga ginagawa namin ngayon, and for sure, mas mahihigitan nila yung kaya namin na gawin.
Yun nga po, sa mga aspiring na bata, kagaya nga po ng sinabi ni JR na yun nga, napapanood nila yung mga best of best sa Asia, sa ibang lugar. Siguro dyan din kami nag-umpisa. Isa rin yan sa nakatulong sa amin, kaya sana mas marami pang Pilipino na mas makapasok sa amin. And yun nga, praying naman yun na sana yun talaga yung mangyari.
Additional na lang sa mga surfer, kanina nabanggit na itong event ay collaborative effort with the government, different agencies. As a surfer, on your point of perspective, mas malakas, mas marami na bang suporta? I mean, mas niyayakap na ba ng gobyerno o ng iba't ibang organisasyon na ang surfing ay can boost tourism, at the same time we have a good surfer that represent yung Pilipinas sa world stage? Ramdam nyo ba na yung suporta kumpara noon?
Opo, sobrang support po ang government sa surfing ngayon dito sa Pilipinas, kasi nagpatakbo po ang UPSA 5 years pa lang. So, mas sa unang beses nila, mas naramdaman agad namin na sobrang nilang masusuportahan yung surfing, na lalo na malaban sa ibang lugar. Lalo na ngayon, tumatagal at tumahaba pa yung part ng samahan ng UPSA at lumalaki pa. So, yun nga po.
In terms of government support, Congressman Manong Singson, through his initiative and presidential first son, Vinnie Marcos, presented JR in Congress. That led to Speaker Romualdez and Kong Yeda sponsoring his world tour last year. Viewership online, just on UPSA for the national tour, there's 4 million last year. When JR was in Huntington Beach, sa dami ng Pinoy na pumunta doon, nagkaroon ng fog on the beach when they opened all the rice cooker and the ulam that they brought to share, seeing that there was a Filipino on the beach. There was literally a barangay that came out to support it. So when you have the youth see their fellow countrymen, see that type of talent, this now becomes a new career path, and it creates other opportunities in the towns as well. The Department of Tourism is also very crucial. Sec Cristina Frasco, very open to exploring how surfing can be part of an international and national campaign in terms of tourism. So it's an incredible time for us, and we're very grateful for it.
Okay, does anyone have any other questions? Okay na lahat? Okay, well, I have one last question. This one is directed to the press, actually. Who here has tried surfing? None? Oh, perfect. Because I think that, if if there is no better time to try surfing than now. So, I'd like to invite all of you also while you're here in Baler to maybe get a surf lesson. We have Neil here who could help, Neil and Jet who could help uh, get that surf lesson because with surfing, it's a completely unique experience. And, there is that saying that, only a surfer would really get it, just being there in the water. So yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for coming to this press conference. So thank you. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh yeah, we have some snacks over there. Thanks everyone. uh, with the surf lesson.